Alrighty, I'm shooting the Rangemaster baseline assessment drill. This is actually my second take with recording this. It's not that we had an issue with the drill, but as you can probably hear, there was that noise. A bulldozer came up as I was trying to record, so I'm like, let's just stop and then start over again. But Rangemaster baseline assessment drill, 5 strings of fire, shot from 5 to 10 yards, 20 rounds total. I'm going to be shooting it with the Tisas tank commander. Now, if you watched the footage of me shooting this last week, it's different now. I've since had my buddy fit a Wilson Combat high ride grip safety, and then a Wilson Combat larger manual safety, and now we have a Harrison trigger on the gun. All these things were to make the gun not necessarily like easier to shoot, but more so less painful to shoot. I've shot plenty of GI 1911s, so no, I'm not really a fan of them. And this gun, we bought it for the express purpose to be a project gun. It's a GI Commander 9mm, but with taller sights, which is a thing that you kind of need on a 1911 because the factory GI sights are terrible. And then again, we fitted the larger controls because with my big hands, I get terrible tang bite from a GI tang safety. But otherwise, this gun's not had any sort of like trigger work done to it. Yeah, there's a different trigger shoe, but the pull weight's still like the 5 pounds that it was when we got it. But it's serviceable enough. It's a $400 gun that we've put about $225, $200 worth of work into, and it's a lot nicer than it was before. So, Rangemaster baseline assessment, we're going to start by drawing and firing 5 rounds with a 5-second part time here. Okay. Whoop. And we still have 4 in the magazine. 1 in the chamber. We're going to safely reholster. That is the only draw that'll be on the clock as part of this drill, but I wanted to, I'm going to be reholstering between strings of fire as I walk down and mark the target. We have all good hits, all in the 10 or the X, so we dropped no points, 50 out of 50. That beaver tail is honestly the biggest improvement to this gun. The trigger being longer means that my trigger reach is more natural. I'm not like craning my finger at a weird angle to get in there. But the beaver tail means that I'm not getting cut right through here on the webbing of my hand. Now, on a steel frame 9mm Commander, you're not getting a ton of that into the hand, but at the same time, it'll happen after enough shooting with the gun. So I'm going to draw the pistol, come up to my low ready position here. For string of fire number 2, it's raise the gun, 1 hand only, strong hand only, and fire 3 rounds with a 3-second part time here. So going to reholster. Looks like I dropped 1 round into the 9 ring, but otherwise it's very good. So 29 out of 30. And our part time there was 222. I didn't catch the part time for the first one, but I knew that we were under the 5-second part time. I'm not too concerned about that. This is a drill that I don't think I've blown par on ever. I say that now, I'm going to probably screw this up, but I don't think I've ever blown the part time on this drill. Okay, so I'm going to begin gun here. Same deal as before, fire 2 rounds now though, weak hand only, 3-second part time. Now the fun thing here is that this gun's not ambidextrous, it's a strong side safety only for me. So I'm gonna have to sweep my thumb over and then reform the grip, come up and shoot the gun. So, starting on beep here. Okay, I dropped 1 round real low. Something I'm not the happiest about. Let's see, we still have, yep, 2 rounds in there. Going to reholster the gun. I'm going to reconnoiter my magazines here. Whoop. And we did that in, I slapped it so it did that. We were at 204 was the total time there. It looks like I added another hit to the X-ring, and then I dropped 1 down into the 8. And it's hard to count, but we should have 10 hits on the target. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because we have 2 that hit the X there. So I dropped 1 into the 8 ring. So 18 there out of 20. We're going to go back to 7 yards here. And we have 10 seconds to, from low ready, fire 3 rounds, perform a slide lock reload, and then fire 3 more rounds. My spare magazine has 10 rounds in it. In the spirit of full disclosure, I did a little bit of shooting with this gun today just to make sure it worked with the new parts. And I did have a double feed malfunction with one of my Wilson ETM mags. So, Bill, what's up? So, let's go to low ready here. Shot timer's where it should be. And we're starting on beep. And reholster. I had a little fumble there. I'm so used to practicing a slide lock reload and then throwing the gun back on safe. I did it there as part of my string of fire, but I caught it before I tried to press the trigger and didn't have any issues there. 7:52, so we were under par time. Still, I had that little fumble there, but that was all me. However, our hits are pretty good here. Let's see, double check there. Yep, our hits are pretty good. So we have one hit, we dropped into the 9 ring. So 59 points in total here at a 60. So otherwise, everything's been staying pretty good in the 10 here. Again, I'll show it once we complete this drill. The iron sights in this gun aren't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but they are not like nice, tall Novaks or target sights. They're just beefier version of GI sights with a serrated rear and then some orange paint that I put on the front sight that's already coming off pretty quickly because of the work we did to the gun. Alrighty, last string of fire is a mini Vickers test. So from low ready, we're gonna raise the gun and fire 4 rounds with a 4-second part time. Starting on beep here. Reholster. And we did that in 3:05, so well under part time. I had 3 rounds that did not hit the 10 ring or X. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be a 36 out of 40. Mark those. So that means we're down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a 192 out of 200 with our heavily modified at this point Tisas Tank Commander. So what I'm going to do here is drop that magazine, get that round out of there, verify the gun's empty, put that back in there. Then I'm going to put an empty magazine in here while I talk about the gun. So again, this is a Tisas Tank Commander. It's a $400 gun, give or take. I think I paid $360 for it plus shipping and a transfer fee, so about 400 bucks. Wilson Combat High Ride Beaver Tail. It's either the High Ride or the High Grip. They're very similar, but it gives me a nice high grip on the gun. We have the Wilson Combat larger thumb safety, which is honestly less about drawing and getting the safety off, but it's easier to get the safety back onto on, and it acts as a better thumb ledge when you're shooting the gun. We have put a Harrison design trigger in the gun. The trigger shoe has no serrations, it's purely just smooth. It is curved, but what I like is that we get, let me pull that magazine out, we get a longer trigger press with a little bit more travel. So it makes that 5-pound trigger pull not feel like 5 pounds. Now, the nice thing here is that we still have enough resistance that this gun's not like dangerously light for the trigger press. And because of the fact that there was an over travel screw that we had to modify as part of the design, we have basically no over travel. Like right where it breaks, there's barely any travel past that point. Otherwise, like the sear springs and all of that, the mainspring, they're all the same as they were before. Even the recoil assembly is the same. I've had one malfunction that was magazine related. But so far, I'm really impressed with this gun. It's funny that I had an EDCX9 that I tested and shot a whole bunch on the channel and reviewed for the website, and that gun was really cool, right? Red dot cut, all of that. I like this more because I feel like I'm shooting it better, even though it's an iron-sighted gun. I think the big thing for me is that the 4-inch barrel on the EDCX9 mixed with that aluminum frame, like it wasn't a super hard gun to shoot, but it had some qualities I didn't like. I didn't like the short trigger on the gun, which I would have swapped if I was going to keep it long-term. And I like that this has a steel frame because this thing's like a laser beam when you shoot it. I might get this thing milled for an optic down the line. I've heard people say that that's kind of like polishing a turd, even though this gun's pretty good. I would say it's more like polishing a cheeseburger. It's not going to be a steak, but I still like me a cheeseburger. And with the Magnum PI watch and the Magnum PI shirt on today, I'm feeling pretty cool with this. So yeah, Rangemaster baseline assessment drill shot in 192, or shot with a 192 score out of 200 points with a Tisas Tank Commander using 124 grain Blazer brass, which is what I use as my facsimile for HST standard pressure. Can't complain. Thanks for watching.